Alrighty, guys. Let's do it. Let's talk about Sora, the new
Sword Art
AI
Online.
video thing. That's what today's episode's about.
Yes?
Yeah. Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
Oh, well,
I
this
am not
is
informed.
some pretty big news. I think in the world of AI, we're making great bounds and leaps, right? To think only a mere year ago, we had that. I'm sure you've seen the video of Will Smith eating the spaghetti from like a year
Yeah,
ago.
I remember that.
The AI generated, yeah.
Uninformed.
Anyway, it looks goofy as hell and it does not look real at all. Anyway, a year from that point on, OpenAI has shown off their new video AI generative tool called Sora, I believe.
That means sky in Japanese.
It's also like a Kingdom Hearts character or some shit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he's Japanese.
Oh, fucking yeah.
But it's Disney.
But yeah, so it's you type in prompts and you get video, hyper
generates
realistic
your
of
video.
that. Like it can, yeah. And have you seen the sample videos? Have you?
Yes.
They look pretty good, I think.
They look quite realistic, but you can also generate some funky things in them, so they're almost surreal, you know? 'cause
Yeah, you
they're
can totally.
fake.
So I guess, well, there are a few things to unpack here with this, right? Firstly, what are the positives of this? Nothing. There's absolutely no
Nothing.
positive. I'm legit trying to think, and I'm think maybe it could be like.
Uh-huh.
What I was thinking is like maybe like smaller creators or like if I had that tool, maybe I'd use it for like pre-visualizing thing, like
Yeah, I guess it'll
pre-visualization.
be
But
interesting for them.
at the same time, if I think about it, that's putting previs people out of jobs, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can't afford so I don't know. Maybe it's just like smaller creators can do that. Use it for like pre-visualizing
Yeah,
thing.
it's probably a
before.
good ideation tool
Yeah.
in the ideation stage, as you
Yeah.
said. But in a morally in a, what do you call it? If you're trying to claim something as a creation of your own, AI is not the answer.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and in that same thing, the other thing I was thinking about is like stock footage and shit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of I feel like a lot of the uses of this is just a way to not pay people for anything. Because you think about it's like stock footage,
Mhm.
why pay for it? We can get it generated for free or whatever. Which puts people, out of work. Same thing with us and like previs stuff. Then same things like drone footage, whatever. All of that stuff. If you can AI generate it, it's putting a lot of people out of work.
But I was listening back to a podcast from back in like when AI art was the hot topic,
Yeah.
and just hearing the story of a Polish artist getting their name was like one of the most searched keywords on this AI art website because they just wanted copies of his work without asking him, paying
Yeah.
him for it.
See, here's a real life example. In the Indonesian election, the funny war crime guy,
Yeah.
his entire campaign medias
Yeah.
is all AI generated like images.
Oh, I thought he was going to go to
Nice.
commit war crimes against AI.
Well, you can argue that AI is a crime against art,
Humanity.
humanity.
To
So
ask AI to draw the red cross. That's a war
yeah,
crime.
I believe if you guys were following like the Deadpool 3 news, they put out a bunch of posters or something, and I think those were AI generated.
really.
I
Really?
can't. I
Is
haven't
it-
fact
is it
checked that. That
ironic,
might be real.
Or is it just like, haha, we're not paying for posters?
It might be the latter. I feel.
I wonder if anyone's actually thinking on making AI legislation.
I think
Yeah,
that
they're
should be
already.
in the works.
I
yeah.
don't know if you've been following the Taylor Swift news. This was a couple weeks ago, but Biden made a thing about it. It was
He's
to do with like
running on
AI
the
generative
campaign,
porn, which is another
Oh,
thing
yeah.
with this.
That was
With
that
this
was a
leap
thing.
in.
That's kind of where it started, right?
Yeah, and because like Taylor Swift is like probably the most powerful person in the world in terms of popularity.
I say most powerful celebrity
Celebrity, yeah. So
because she doesn't have the nuke button.
no, yeah. But like she's big enough that like Congress will address
Yes.
stuff on her
She
behalf.
contributes to the American economy a certain percentage.
Yeah.
And that our local government will put action plans.
And to the carbon footprint.
And to the carbon footprint, yeah.
Love our environmentally conscious queen.
Taylor Swift, our modern day Thomas Midgley Jr.
But she's the lawyers are justifying that because she donates to a carbon, what do you call it? The equal thing. So
Yeah.
she pays more to offset her carbon footprint. Apparently,
Look, I'm a huge Swiftie, as you know. I'm wearing stuff.
yeah.
I don't agree with the way because she uses a jet for like stupid reasons of like, I'm gonna travel to the city next thing where you can just take a bus, like most.
But she doesn't want
Most
to
celebrities
take
just go
the
to a bus and watch that.
Oh yeah,
I understand because she's like really big. You'd want like better. It's more secure and whatnot. But the other thing is like, there's also like, you know, big corporations that are polluting and shit, but like no one's really addressing that as well. So like, there's
it's only because she's the numero uno celebrity.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a double standard with that, but like that's. But bear in mind, I also don't agree with using the jet. So
yes,
no one should agree for them using the jet to begin with. But from the perspective of someone I've heard who used to do tours buses can be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, didn't Eric Num's tour bus break down and he made a video about it?
Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, y'all have been on buses. I've been on a bus.
Yeah.
They ain't the best thing in the world.
Tour buses are different though because they're like luxury and they'll have a fucking Xbox in the fucking.
True,
That makes it even better.
Right? But apparently it is just very uncomfortable.
Well, it definitely. Yeah. And
but then you pull up to your
longer.
5-star hotel rooms. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's like, it's not really,
It takes longer to travel.
Yeah.
And you'd rather play your Xbox on a plane.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Taylor's doing. She's playing something
Sonic.
Halo up in the Sonic up there.
Halo.
But yeah, so that was like a big thing that happened a couple of weeks ago in terms of. So yeah, that also leads into the thing with this new AI video generation tool, and the fact that it's like it's not all the way yet in terms of like absolute quality, but like just to think of like a year since that Will Smith video and how much progress has been made is kind of crazy. But yeah, that could lead to a lot of, I guess, in terms of that sort of thing, like misinformation and.
It'll be much easier to create fabricated videos.
Yeah. And
Especially
it's not
if you
even
combine
like
that with AI voices. And
so that's
AI
the current thing
videos.
that's going on right now. If you're not aware of the AI voice scams where you replicate the voice of a loved one and be like, "Oh, I'm in trouble, send money." It's a real crime, but it is a big crime. Unfortunately, but yeah, that's a hard one to. Yeah, the thing is, like, how do you even regulate this? It's like, yeah, you can put in like, I guess the OpenAI's plan is to put in a lot of safeguards,
So
and they're not releasing it to the public yet. It's like very private, whatnot. But like,
I can see like copyright regulation, but they'll be just for content, I suppose, and media. But like for scams and stuff, well, there is already laws
like
against.
You have to make it some
identity theft, because that's definitely one thing they can do.
Yeah.
But then you can't prevent identity theft by having laws against identity theft, because they'll just do it anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. And it could be very dangerous. Like, imagine like if it's like a politician or something, that could have big world ramifications. Even like the big one as well would probably be like more scammers and shit like that. Like, think about like old ladies on Facebook or whatever. They see this shit, like maybe to you and me it doesn't look quite real, but like to someone who's not like specifically knowing it's AI, I reckon it's easy enough to fool.
So you can send your grandma an AI generated video of her grandson, like, I don't know, doing something.
I don't know,
doing your mom, and then asking her for ransom money.
I'm gonna stop doing your mom if you give me $1 million. So I don't really.
In your hands.
I don't think
we can recreate Beehive.
Like the beekeeper, 100%. I reckon, like I was saying, I guess what you'd use it for would be like stock footage and shit, or just like pre-visualizing stuff. But like, that's putting people out of work, and I just don't think the ends justify the means at all. Like, I don't see a good enough justification for this technology.
And even in today's world of generative images that are being used in a corporate setting or in commercial settings, they're pretty shit. And like they're shit. As in, like, it's not appealing. I guess it's just cheaper for the corporate guys to use or the commercial guy to use.
Yeah.
If you look at like algorithmically based videos made to get clicks and stuff, it's just like trash for clicks. And if you look at corporate entities that use AI images, it's just because they don't want to pay artists, right?
Yeah. Marvel did it with Secret Invasion, if you remember. That was AI generated.
Although that was somewhat justifiable with, I guess, the concept they were trying to justify it with. But it's arguable that
it was a bad show. Nothing justified.
Yeah.
That show didn't even justify its existence. Okay.
Yeah, so it's arguable that it is for artistic purposes. And I was
This is a
thinking about
controversy
something,
with I believe last year there was stuff about Magic, like the cards.
Oh yeah, are they
Maybe
using
they
AI
used
in
some.
the cards now?
There was some sketchy stuff involving AI.
Okay. Oh, did y'all see the Minions clip?
No.
So the new Minions
new
movie
one?
is coming out.
Yeah.
They have a trailer clip where they kind of made fun of AI images.
Really?
So they kind of made it a joke.
See, they're the pinnacle of social satire.
They're making it ironic. See, they're saying like when someone types in a prompt in OpenAI, it sends it to like a sweatshop of minions who Photoshop images and then send it back.
That's pretty funny, actually. I might go watch.
You
We'll
should
probably
check out the
we have to
clip,
watch it for review purposes.
We have to
but
look for the secret banana in every AI photo now.
yeah.
So it's all just minions doing Photoshop for you.
Yeah.
That's the joke they made, which is funny.
Wow.
Yeah. AI videos. No, not good. Out of 10.
AI videos, more like sweatshop workers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we just traveled back in time and had the same conversation we had in 2022.
Well, this is, I think, quite different because video is different to.
Well, it's another
It's
next
the
step
next step.
to
definitely.
This is the same thing people are talking about with deepfakes, really.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit different, but deepfakes are on that level
Yeah.
of it's that next step.
Well, that
as
was
well.
the Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
That was through deepfake stuff, and this is just like, I guess.
Deepfakes are like painting someone's face on an existing face, right? But in this
is like actually generating entire
scratch.
videos based on a word prompt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For the same effect. Same cause and effect.
It can be used the same way in a malicious manner.
Yeah.
Although, yeah. I mean, can deepfakes be used for something nice? Just make it could
Like
be
a
funny,
funny
but
joke,
but
but
that's
like,
about it. What else are you gonna use deepfakes for?
It's most like 90% of deepfakes are just for
and
porn.
the fucking filming thing of deepfaking just faces, because you don't want to hire extras.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Well, that's not happening, but like
because of
the strike. So, but that was a
See,
possibility.
that's one way of preventing misuse in industries is having agreements.
Yeah, for sure. But the internet's a bad place, scary place. Never go on the internet.
Technology is advancing at a rate that humans cannot progress society at the same rate. We can't put all the laws and regulations into place with the rate of technology.
Well, this has always been the case.
Like laws and shit take forever to go through. It's not even
we live in a democracy.
It's not even about technology. Just in general, with like laws and shit, they all
Because we live in a democracy, bruh. If I was dictator, I could just snap new law.
That's actually so true. Like, think about America, bro. You know how much gun violence there is, and still nothing's happening.
So they keep arguing and
just
yapping.
ourselves to the hive mind and lose our free will.
Beekeeper.
Matrix.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, what if we are in the Matrix? We would never be able to tell because AI generated.
I just had deja vu.
Yeah.
Actually, true. The Matrix is AI generated.
That's true. But yeah, I reckon like now is a really interesting time because this is, once again, if you look at these videos and shit, it's like they're really good, but like there's still imperfections, right? But this is the worst it'll ever be. It's only going to
It'll
get
get
better
better?
from here. And that's pretty scary.
Have you seen the Minecraft generation?
No. What's that?
They generated a video of Minecraft gameplay.
Really?
Yeah, but it was a bit too realistic to be Minecraft.
Well, a funny thing about the AI, this tool, when they did like a car driving down a road or something or other, it just automatically does like a video game camera over the car.
Yeah, it's like the camera choices are very
Like
maybe
it's
from what
a
the
lot of
video
it's
you're
very
feeding in,
video
right?
gamey, yeah. Even with the way it does like cinematics and shit, like with
Yeah.
people, it's very gamey. But I'm sure they'll tweak it.
They can
Stuff
fix
together,
that.
yeah.
Speaking of camera angles, just like Madam Web.
Just like Madam Web. Before we get into Madam Web, I just
Yeah.
wanted to talk about some Marvel stuff. Maybe
Marvel news.
we got the trailer for Deadpool 3. Did you guys watch that one?
Yes, I
I'm so
did.
excited. It looks so good.
To me, it feels like the trailer was only like the first 20 minutes of like the actual movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
or it
man.
could be nothing. Who knows? Maybe it's all AI generated.
Maybe it'll be like Morbius. They cut half the trailer out.
Or or Madam Web, which Madam Web got half the movie cut before it or whatever. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, TVA stuff.
Crossover.
It's all coming together. I'm so excited.
They link
Good
in.
trailer.
That's how they link in Mr. Deadpool to the MCU. Yeah. Huge Jackman's
Do you
back.
reckon we'll see? There was also Pyro from X2 was in the trailer.
Ooh.
Got Hugh Jackman. Do you reckon we'll see like everyone from the X-Men movies come back?
Maybe not everyone, but maybe a few more cast members.
Charles Xavier,
Maybe. Yeah.
Magneto.
He's a big man.
Yeah.
Big bold man.
Yeah.
Magneto might be back.
Fantastic Four.
Do you think? Yeah, I was just say Fantastic
Mhm.
Four. Oh, did you see all the theories like, oh, that one guy with the mask is Doctor Doom?
Oh,
It's a terrible theory.
it's MF Doom.
No, why would Doctor Doom get revealed as like that one masked random guy in the trailer quickly? Yeah.
NF Doom.
Yeah.
MFT.
NFTs.
Well, you know a funny thing about NFTs? Do you remember how like a lot of companies were going in on NFTs and now they're worth nothing?
Logan Paul.
That's like a
NFTs.
part of all of the layoffs in the tech industry.
Is it because NFTs?
Well, I think that's part of the reason because they went all in on a lot of companies went all in on NFTs and like Web 3 or whatever that shit's called. And
Yeah,
it
the web.
did not pan out, so they have to get rid of people to make up for the cost.
True.
Bad
Good
business
business.
decisions. Let's
No,
watch our
they're-
stocks go down.
Yes. Well, my stocks have been, I don't know, I think it's pretty steady, except for the one thing I put money on. I think it was the emerging markets sector.
You're gonna put it on AI, bro. That's
Yeah.
very sad. That's very sad.
But that's why you don't hire consultants, because they tell you bullshit and then you buy it.
Yeah.
But then you can just blame the consultants and fire your people. That's why they hire
Like
consultants.
you're a financial consultant.
Yeah, if a
Do
company...
do you like a financial consultant tell you to invest in that stock?
No. If I hypothetically was a company,
Oh,
I get a
you mean?
consultant to write me a report on what to invest in. So if the investment goes down,
I thought they
can tell
meant
to
you
my-
personally
Oh,
with
not
your
me
stocks
personally,
very
yeah.
now. Yeah.
I can tell to my stockholders, hey, the shit went down, not my fault, consultant fault.
Nah, that won't fly. You
That's,
get
that's how it
fired.
works. That's why the government hires consultants to make them report, so they can be like, all right, we did put this law down because the consultant told us it's good, so they can't get
Well,
sued. And companies do that as well.
Well, I guess, but like,
That's what consultants do.
yeah, that's all. Yeah, but like, still, the leader of the company is still like the figurehead and
Well,
whatnot.
yeah, sure. The CEO still has the responsibility to accept what the consultant said, but he can just be like, they're the experts.
Like the CEOs do get the most blowback for it.
From the stockholders, yeah,
So pretty
Yeah.
much what we're saying is CEOs are doing all of their actions to protect themselves,
and the company.
not for the greater good.
Who says companies are for the greater good?
This is true.
Yeah.
This is
So are governments, but they're supposedly for the greater good of the country if they're real government, but not most of the time.
Well, I mean, government's important, right?
They're important.
Yeah.
Without the government, no tax.
That's true.
Well-
But like, but tax is important still. Like,
Tax
I
are
don't think
requirements
the
on the
issue is having to pay tax. There's a lot of like, well, where's the tax going and
Yes.
where's it coming from as well? Because, like, the different tax rates for the different things, and why aren't corporations paying tax and all of that, whatever, yeah.
Because they want money.
So I shouldn't pay land tax.
Most people who went and listened to civics class, they know what taxes do. But
You don't need to go to fucking civics class. You can just literally look. I don't know. I feel like everyone should. I mean, it's just a good idea. Just everybody who pays tax should know.
Yes, that is the smart thing to do.
So I don't know.
What is
Get
the tax?
educated yourself.
Educate yourself.
Because think about it. If you go to civics class, you're wasting your own money. That money could be going to tax.
True, but don't you get civics class in
Don't you love tax, though?
year
Don't you love
10
playing?
or some shit?
No. We don't have civics in Australia. Not in high school.
Humanities had civics.
Yeah, class for civics and citizenship.
Oh yeah. There's an elective, like a little elective thing.
Yeah.
No, it was mandatory for me.
Well, it would
It's
be
just
like a
part of
sub.
We
what do you
never
call
had
it?
that.
I remember having some sort of civics lecture, not lecture.
At GW,
Yeah.
Yeah, so different classes got different topics.
yeah.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
Because
The
we had
curriculum
like
would've given
humanities
to you.
and geography.
Well, humanities was the
Oh,
overall.
that means you were listening.
Then we had geography, history, civics and citizenship, and one for each term. As part of
Well, that might have been civics might have been like a subtopic, but I don't remember.
Oh no, it was definitely the whole term. Civics and citizenship.
That means he wasn't listening.
Mm.
Like the person I was hypothetically talking about.
I don't know.
Recurring years as
Yeah.
well. Oh, economics was the last one.
Or
Economics.
economics.
Civics and citizenship, economics, history, and
Yeah, there
geography.
ain't no way I did an economics class. Hell nah.
You also weren't listening.
That must have been like post
9/11.
9/11, year 9 or something.
Yeah, post year
Yeah.
9 and 11. But hey, most people who don't want to pay tax, they're just selfish. Really. So are companies.
But I don't want to pay tax. But
Same.
I get the
get
reason
it.
for tax. Why don't we talk about where we go? Anyway, Deadpool 3 looks really good. I think that's the point.
Marvel ain't paying tax. Yay,
No.
Hugh Jackman, is he paying tax?
Probably, dude.
He's a national treasure. I'm sure he gets tax exemptions.
From the Australian government? Isn't he like
Maybe.
fucking American now?
Has he
I
changed
don't know.
citizenships?
I don't know. I think he's a bit of a snake.
Did he betray?
I think he
Good-
betrayed. He doesn't live in
our
Australia,
good
right? He
country?
he did betray our country.
What a fucking
Was he at the
snake.
fucking Super Bowl?
Was he?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, does he go to any AFL games, bruh? Is
Well,
he a real Aussie?
there was that big thing, if you remember, last year of him, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift watching the game together. So then everyone's like, "Oh, Taylor Swift is in Deadpool 3," which I still subscribe to that theory. I think she is.
Dual citizenship with Australia and the UK.
He is a British national.
But he's a snake. He lives in America.
Yeah, just like many other snakes, like Rupert Murdoch, bruh.
Nah, think about this. Zac Efron, American,
Yeah.
lives in Australia.
Because
So
he's
think about that.
best.
Pretty cool.
What else in the Marvel world?
We got the cast list for Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
Revealed on Valentine's Day. Pedro Pascal is Mr. Fantastic. What's his name? Cousin from the Bear is Ben Grimm. Vanessa Kirby is Invisible Woman. And is it Joseph Quinn is Human Torch.
Quinn.
I haven't seen that guy. I've only seen him in Stranger Things, and that was it. Do you remember he was Eddie?
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie.
Eddie. I like Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found it interesting because I felt like, all these people are like from TV, not really movies.
True.
So you think of Pedro Pascal, he was in
Mostly
Kingsman, and that's
TV.
it. I don't know. Yeah. But like he's mostly famous for TV. Cousin from the Bear, he's famous for playing Cousin on the Bear. Joseph Quinn, Stranger Things, of course. And I think Vanessa Kirby was in like some royal show. But I think she's probably the most like cinema person, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Because she's in like Mission Impossible and shit. I think it's pretty cool casting, and I'm pretty hyped for this movie.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
2025, I believe.
What is this?
Mm.
The third Fantastic Four movie?
The fifth.
Fifth?
There's one in like the 70s or 80s.
Hey.
There were two in the early 2000s,
They keep rebooting.
and then there was one reboot. Oh no, this is the fourth reboot.
Okay.
Well, like there's the original 70s one. There's the rebooted 2000s, like two movies, and then they had the reboot in the 2010s. Now we're getting the reboot in the 2020s.
Every decade.
Every decade.
Yeah, are people. It's going back to Stranger Things a bit. People are boycotting the next season apparently. Cause that one guy is a Zionist apparently.
What's his name? Yeah, we don't like him. His
guy that
Noah
cried.
something.
in the show.
Yeah.
Everyone cried.
I feel like the hype train of Stranger Things is completely gone.
Yeah, it's been a bit of.
I don't know. I don't really like. I have no reason, but like I just don't really give a shit about any of the cast members, to be honest. I remember like Millie Bobby Brown was really popular back in the day.
Especially the Drake.
Yeah, especially with Drake.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, yeah, I have
don't know.
no personal stakes on these personal lives of these personal individuals.
But
No, I
you'll
don't.
definitely remember the time of like when Millie Bobby Brown was in like Godzilla. She was in that Enola Holmes thing. Like those are the stuff that we reviewed.
But she's the only one who got big off of Stranger Things.
Oh no, Joseph Quinn. Like Fantastic Four, I reckon will like, if it's good, it will make him like even more because it's like a big movie. Marvel. Were any of them? None of them. Well, Winona Ryder was obviously really famous back in the days before we were born. She was in like Heathers and shit. Like, so she's like famous in her. But I guess that doesn't really count because she didn't get famous off the show. She was famous and then she was on the show probably to boost the popularity of the show. Oh, David Harbour. He's had actually a very strong career, I think. I think his career is probably the most like long lasting. Because he was in Gran Turismo and Black Widow. Those were recent movies, right?
I guess he had a nice boost.
Yeah. He's going to be in Thunderbolts, so. I've got a Lego figure of him as Red Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Stranger Things have the...
Have they fallen off?
I feel like they kind of have. I don't know.
I remember last season being alright. Was it?
Oh, yeah, because that's when you joined the Stranger Things
Yes, I caught
thing.
up for last season.
I was like, we got to watch it, and then we watched it, yeah.
True that.
Watch it.
Have you watched it, Mr. Sandman?
None.
Okay, surely between now and like 2025, whenever the next season comes out, you watch and we can all do it. We can review this show together.
Well, that's a year to do it.
Yeah.
That's a year to do it.
It's not that long of a show either, right?
Season 3 was mad.
I think that was the weakest season.
Nah,
if I remember
it was
correctly.
my favorite season.
Oh, wait, yeah, I think we've had this conversation that you were in the minority.
Yes.
I think the first season was the best. I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. Like, I think that was also one of the weird things when it came out. People are like, oh, the way they do it, I don't know. It's like people are hyped for like the week that because it's a binging show. They're hyped for the week that you can binge it, and then it kind of no one talks about it
That's
anymore.
what happened with the last season.
Yeah, because it was like the last season was huge. I think it was probably their biggest premiere of stuff ever for Stranger Things, at least. And it just died.
Yeah. They need to do weekly episodes again, man. Or like
I don't know, but like that's the whole thing. Netflix's whole model is streaming binge.
But they have shows where they do it weekly, do they?
Yeah, it's usually shows that air on TV.
Oh,
like your Riverdales or your. I think some K dramas do it too. I don't know. Yeah.
The new model streaming. So I guess that's what happens in this ever fast age of more shows, more
I guess so.
Watch.
Also, it's just like
span.
you're also. I think now we're in like a new what a bit of a renaissance of TV, I feel, because, well, it's not actually TV. Firstly, yeah, TV shows is an inaccurate term because nothing's really a TV show anymore. It's all streaming shows, right? Even like your big shows like Succession and stuff, they're on TV same time as they're airing on streaming or whatever. They'll still do it weekly, but like that's how it works, right?
Yes.
And I think like also, generally speaking, more money's going into TV as well. Not TV, like into this thing. So like you're getting
Series.
Theoretically, quality should be better. And I feel like there are a lot of shows that do embrace the bigger budgets and make better quality stuff. And you're going to have other shows like competing with that.
Yes.
So yeah. I don't know. You just need to be Succession, really. And then people will talk about your show forever.
Did they do it weekly?
Yeah.
See,
because that's a TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the.
It was also just like one of the best written shows of the last like decade at least. Like, yeah.
Yeah. They'll help definitely.
True. Yeah, I don't know. Stranger Things. Well, I mean, my issue with Stranger Things was every season's the same kind of formulaic. Why? New big bad, blah, blah, blah.
They fight new monster.
Yeah.
Bam.
That was... Yeah, so this is the final season coming out, so like, I don't know. Maybe it's time to end. That's good.
It's time to stop.
Anyway, point being, I think good casting for Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
The other thing, we got a trailer, but I didn't watch it because I'm actually still watching the show for the new season of X-Men 97.
Oh, X-Men 24.
Well, it's coming out next month actually, so I'm halfway through the show to catch up so I can watch the new season. And I know that the trailer directly just tells you what happens at the end of the last thing to catch people up, so I'm not watching that.
Okay.
But I'm very excited. We're going back to the we're going to be kids in the 90s again. Yeah.
The bite of 97.
Wait, was X-Men the show a 90s show or an 80s show?
If it's in 97, it was in 97.
Maybe it was like
that's why it's called 97.
Could be. I assume it's probably like set then as well. But it's like canon to the MCU now, so like that's
okay.
And I reckon because they're doing it in March, Deadpool comes out in July.
They'll have a cameo.
I reckon it's going to be the link. We'll probably review this new rebooted but still sequel of the show.
The 2-decade wait of sequel.
Yeah. I think it's honestly like a really cool thing to just like they're revisiting this old show. People weren't happy with the way it ended as well. So
okay.
Yeah.
That Marvel news?
That is all the Marvel news I could think of. Do you guys know anything else that happened this week?
Guess not.
Nah.
I suppose so.
I suppose not.
I suppose not, Governor.
All right. You want to talk about which one you want to talk about first, Venom or Marley?
You can keep it in the Marvel train, sir. Don't you think so?
Actually, Madam Web is in association with Marvel.
Is it not a real Marvel movie?
It's a Sony movie.
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right. Spider-Man, innit?
Yeah, you know, a funny thing. I realize how ingrained I am into like the MCU and shit that like I talked to a normal person today and I was like talking about Madam Web and they're like, oh, is that not part of the Marvel thing? And I was like, oh, no, it's a completely different thing. And I'm now thinking, does your average person think that like this Morbius and Madam Web and like Venom, they're just Marvel movies?
Because it says in the start, Marvel.
Yeah, it's just Marvel, but like with tiny words above it saying in association with. That's how they get you.
Yes, that's how they do it. Does it say Sony? I think it did say Sony.
Yeah, it didn't say.
Sony Pictures presents.
Yeah.
Sony keeps making banger after banger.
Box office flop after box office flop.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. It's like, you're not making any money. Why are you making these?
They're using the Spider-Man money to make
What do you mean?
shit movies. Like Spider-Verse money.
Yeah, but you want to make a profit, right?
Yes.
You'd think, but they're not making any profits. Like,
they have a
doing?
consultant in the office saying, hey guys, I'm making a report that says you need Mobius and Madam Web.
Well, they just got the guys who wrote Morbius to write this one, so
Ah, see, they saw the performance of Mobius, said, all right, we want another one.
even though that
Another
movie
one.
flopped, and it flopped twice as hard because they re-released it because they thought people would watch it, but people were just making fun of it.
Did they re-release Mobius?
Yeah, so because of all the memes and shit, they were like, "Oh, this movie must be really popular, so let's put it back into the
And
theaters,"
no
and they
one
lost so
watched it.
much more money because no one watched it.
Nah.
No one was watching it originally, and no one watched it again. So, yeah.
Very sad. Very sad. But a good job, Sony. Make more of these, please.
No, fuck you, no. I mean, I don't know. It's just like a way to hang on to the license, I guess. But
I
like
mean,
the
are they
license, like they have to
obligated
make a
to,
movie every 5
yeah?
years or something. Otherwise, the rights revert back to Marvel.
I mean, they keep making Spider-Man movies, so they don't have to make these other movies.
Well, no, that's also the other problem, right? They don't make any Spider-Man movies. The last Spider-Man
Yeah.
movie they made was
I mean, the
Amazing
Spider-Verse
Spider-Man 2. I mean, I guess Spider-Verse or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, what are you doing? And that's another thing with this movie. Oh well, let's just start this off by saying we'll talk about Madam Web.
Madam Web.
This new movie about
Webs and Madams.
Cassandra or something who like can see the future,
Yeah.
and then she
She's,
goes, "Well, let's do it this way."
What's another character that can see the future?
Doctor Strange.
She was
Doctor
so I think she was
Strange.
meant to be the Doctor Strange of the Sony universe. That's what the people wanted. But I don't know if you noticed, it seems like every reference to Spider-Man and whatnot was cut out of the movie. So
Yeah.
it's clear that Sony doesn't know what to do with their universe because it's not making any money. They're doing stuff with like the Spider-Verse movies. And like I guess maybe they're like waiting on what's going on with the MCU version of Spider-Man. So at this point they've just like kind of been like, well fuck, we have to put things out. But we don't know what to do in terms of connecting it to Spider-Man.
So they go
So,
back.
Yeah. And I feel like you can clearly tell all the Spider-Man shit cut out of it. It's probably gonna be a really messy review, but to be fair, it's a messy movie, right?
Yeah.
You've got like Ben Parker, right?
Mhm.
In the movie. That's not a spoiler, it's in the trailer. There's a point where his sister is pregnant and she's talking to Madam Web and she's like, "Yo, can you predict the name of my baby?" And then she goes, and then they cut to something else because they can't say Peter.
They should have said Peter, but with an A.
They should just said Tom Holland.
Peter.
Another scene of
Tom.
when Ben Parker's like, "Oh, I've met someone," and then Madam Web goes, "What's her name?" And he goes, she's very special to me." I don't know if you remember this exact moment in the movie, but this happens a couple times.
He's dodging the question, bruh.
Because yeah, I guess they can't mention Spider-Man or whatnot.
Or Aunt Jane.
There is a Daily Bugle in this though. I don't know if you guys noticed,
Aunt
but I
May.
did spot the Daily Bugle
Oh.
on a newspaper. It also begs the question, why is Ezekiel's costume, like why is he wearing a costume? B, why is it like the Spider-Man costume?
Because he's a spider.
But there is no Spider-Man to like base the suit on. I don't really get
Because
like
he sees the future. Or he knows the future.
but he doesn't really. He only has one vision of the future.
Didn't it?
And maybe it's just a dream.
Yeah.
Also, that one vision of the future doesn't make any sense. Have you ever thought about that? Because, like, what? Like, okay. I don't know if we can really get into... No, we won't get into spoilers, but we'll do a really quick non-spoiler section because I want to jump into some of the dumb shit in this movie.
Yeah.
I think this movie's bad. Do you guys agree with this, potentially?
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, a real stinker. I think it's probably worse than Morbius. But, like, barely. On the basis that, like, this movie was pure... Like, I could barely look at this movie. It was shot so poorly. The editing was really jarring.
They keep spinning the camera, bro.
They keep spinning the camera. They keep doing quick cuts.
Yeah.
Even when it's not an action scene. Bear in mind, Speaking of which, there are no action scenes in this movie. That is another thing.
There's accident scenes.
There's a lot of yeah, literally the final fight of the movie is accidents and like environmental damage, I guess.
Yeah.
Like a stage fatality, if you're familiar with Mortal Kombat terms.
Yeah.
Jump off a roof.
A lot of the marketing around this movie revolved around, there are all these Spider Women. That was a bold lie. There's about 10 seconds of Spider Women in this movie, like in costume and doing their Spider-Man stuff. There's probably about 10 seconds. If you want to count that as action, there you go. It's 10 seconds of your superhero action. This is a bad superhero movie. Like, there's like nothing superhero about this. It's like a lot of. It's just people in like normal clothes, just like running around for 90% of the movie. They do be running.
That is the movie, though.
It's also a bad period drama.
It's set
in the early 2000s, and characters will do stupid ass things, and it doesn't make sense for the time period. Namely speaking, I just want you to bear in mind, 9/11 just happened 2 years prior to this.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff involving flight that doesn't make any fucking sense because security is really tight and the characters shouldn't be able to get on a plane.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll get to that. Like, legit, while I was watching the movie, I was in a theater, there was a few people, it wasn't super packed, but I was literally just like, but fucking 9/11 happened! That doesn't make sense!
You shouted that out loud and people clapped.
People applauding. But that's just one minor nitpick. We'll get into that later. The script is really bad. Which is funny because I think half of it was probably like the original script, and then half of it's completely new because you can absolutely tell because the villain has no actual genuine lines in this movie. It's all dubbed. You can clearly like he's not even moving his mouth like at all in this fucking movie, and then just like audio's coming. Where's it coming from? He's not moving his lips.
From his nose.
He's coming from his nose. Yeah.
Speaks through his
also, when he's wearing the Spider-Man suit and he's like doing his acrobatics and shit, you know how like when Spider-Man is like running around, he's like he'd get like breathless or whatever when he's doing like swings and shit. Yeah, like you can tell he's moving. He just talks normally, like his normal monotone. The dubbing in this movie is awful. Like it's like this movie is technically incompetent.
Yeah. Due to all the edits, well, cutting out the Spider-Man stuff in it.
Maybe. I think maybe the movie was meant to be something else. Completely. I don't know. Maybe it was actually meant to connect the Sony movies because they wanted this to be like a Doctor Strange type deal.
Yeah,
like the multiverse or whatever. Yeah, like this movie is not even worth like it's a bad movie, but also like it has no connection to the rest of those Sony movies. Like there's no reason to watch it.
There's no Morbius in it,
and I don't think we're getting a sequel to this. I wish Morbius and the Vulture showed up at the end to be like, I don't know what's going on, but I think it's something to do with Spider-Man. But that didn't happen.
Like what's the guy? Fucking bald guy in the Morbius film.
What?
Who's the Vulture guy?
The Vulture?
Yeah. What movie did he show up in?
Oh, Homecoming.
Was he in Morbius?
Yeah, that's why I meant by Morbius and Vulture. I was referencing that post-credit scene for Morbius, yeah. They should have done that in this movie. You're not gonna, like... Who's this movie fucking for? You're not gonna get any, like... There's no superhero stuff in this. You don't get to see anyone in costume. Like... The action is bad. The writing is like the dialogue's awful. The story is like shitty Terminator.
True. Because they come from the future to the past. Yeah. And they go, haha, do not. And
you have to protect people because someone has a vision of the future and it's going to result in something happening. He wants to kill other people, but then she has to protect this. It's literally Terminator.
Damn.
The movie looks like ass. Cinematography editing is awful. The VFX are bad. I walked into this movie like 5 minutes late, and when I watched this movie, Ezekiel shot the mom. Fuck it, who gives a shit? And you shot them up, and then you see like the spider people like running around, and it's goofy as hell. They're leaping like monkeys across the trees.
They see the
Spider monkeys.
spider.
And I was literally just like, what the fuck did I just walk into?
Spider monkey.
Yeah. And you can tell they were just going to say, oh, those people are Spider-Men. But they were like, spider people? Because that's, I guess, too close to saying the word Spider-Man.
True. Spider people.
Alright. Also, the sound mixing in this movie just was not good. I feel.
I wasn't. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this movie sounded good. I mean, you could also tell like they put in no fucking effort with that, clearly from the dubbing and shit.
What was the production schedule like? Or why should I say post-production schedule?
I don't know. I assume it was like the reshoot seemed pretty extensive. I don't know.
Where did you watch it, by the way?
I watched it. Hoyt.
Interesting.
Why?
Hoyt would have good sound.
Yeah, but I just don't think the movie sounds good.
Yeah. How long have they been making this movie? From like 2020? 1, 2,
I don't know.
3. That's the question. But
At least a
will be
week.
bad. Yeah, probably more than a week, yeah. Spoiler zone.
Yeah, let's go. So let's just go jump straight
Spoiler
to spoilers. Where do we start? Oh yeah, I missed the first 5 minutes, and apparently they loosely explained his motivation in the start, right? Where he goes like, I walked in exactly what he was saying, what he was up to, right? So he kills the mum, and he's just like, she's like, yo, we gotta use that spider to help people or something. And he's like, yo, people didn't help me when I was hungry.
He did say
It
that.
never comes up again, by the way. That has nothing to do with like anything, but I guess like, cool, good for you, man. People didn't help you when you were hungry, so I guess.
So I'ma kill you
So
now.
I'm gonna kill you, yeah. Alright. Don't understand why he did that, but yeah, let's move on, I guess. Yeah. So then his whole deal becomes, oh, I see the Spider Women in the visions of the future, and they're gonna kill me in order to prevent that from happening.
Yes.
Couple of things wrong with it. Firstly, why are the Spider Women going to kill him? Because it's so far that he's done nothing. Like up until that point, he hasn't really done anything to deserve.
Because he's evil businessman.
Is he? Like, I don't know. What does he do?
He killed a woman. Or shot
Yeah,
a
but
woman.
what does he do?
He take the spider serum and sell it or some shit.
Does he? I don't think he does. I thought he just keeps it for himself.
Yeah, then what the fuck does he do?
Exactly. That's my fucking point. What is he doing?
He sells it to the black market.
I think that was meant to be a storyline that they cut out because, like, yeah, at the start of the movie, he says something about hungry, and then later on he goes like, "Yo, I started from the bottom, now we're here," or some shit like along those lines. And I was like, there was probably meant to be something more.
I just kind of assumed in my head that he does something to the spider juice.
But like, it actually just it just doesn't make sense. Why would the Spider-Man break him and just murder him? That's out of character. Like, why?
See, it was a misguided vision, bruh.
It's a vision that like, and they don't elaborate on it because it doesn't make sense. Like, what? Okay, but I guess we have to go with the logic that one day these Spider-Women will just come in and murder him for no reason. And they don't explain why they would ever have a reason to.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's his whole deal. And so then you meet Madame Webb, Cassandra. She is a paramedic.
Yes.
And we get into issue number 2. And there are probably more, but I'm going to be completely honest. I don't remember half of the... I fell asleep, but there's one part you're going to have to talk me through because I completely slept through it. That's the diner part.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Diner.
But, this movie's boring as shit, by the way. Should probably preface that. Anyway. Yeah, she's a paramedic, so I assume her, like, passion in life is probably, like, wanting to help people.
But she hates people.
But, so yeah, she hates people. And secondly, when she meets the Spider-Women and they're being chased by evil Spider-Man, her first instinct is just like, fuck off, I don't want to do anything about this. Go to your parents. I'm not helping you. doesn't make sense. Okay, she's meant to. She's literally her life job is a paramedic. Isn't her whole thing helping people?
Maybe she got forced into the job somehow, even though that's not really.
And at the
Possibly
start of the
forced
movie,
into.
she does that stupid line where she sees a cat, and then she goes, "Us stray is gonna stick together." Doesn't she feel bad for these? There's nothing. There's no empathy. Nothing.
Because they ain't strays, they're parents.
But all of their parents have gone somewhere. Apparently, they're all on mysterious business trips.
This is just like an anime explanation for no parents. They doing something. Business trip. Because it's all what do you call it? Fate.
Yeah.
Movies about fate because the future and visions and stuff.
But it could be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be changed. So she hates people and kids.
Yeah.
That happens, and then she realized, wow, I can help these kids.
Yeah. So, you meet Ben Parker,
Benny.
who. Why is he in the movie? Like, I don't really get it. Because he's clearly he's Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
But you're not going to mention Spider-Man. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
It's the forgotten tie-in that they had to cut out.
Yeah.
That they just can't.
I think he's probably one of the better parts of the movie, I think, in terms of, like, performance. Oh, yeah, actually, this movie is not good. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone gets a good performance. I think he is alright. But maybe because I like the actor. I don't know.
Yeah. Yuppers.
Even Sydney Sweeney, she was better in that Valentine's movie I watched. About, or is it Anyone But You? She was better in that movie. Alright, so what are we up to?
What's complaint number 3?
Oh, no, we're not there yet.
Not there?
So yeah, they have a talk, I guess, where they like, she hates everyone, ha ha ha. Also, Uncle Ben found Aunt May, but they can't say Aunt May. Also, look at my can of Mountain Dew.
They're Pepsi, bro.
Well, in this part, it's Mountain Dew. But by the way, I'm pretty sure Pepsi owns Mountain Dew, so it's like the same company and whatnot. Oh, yeah, that's also a funny thing. Have you noticed that just every soft drink company owns each other? So they're... I think it's Pepsi and Coke are the only...
Like Woolies and Coke.
And like Sprite and stuff are all part of each of those companies.
I think it's Coke owned.
Yeah.
Fanta might not be. It's Coke?
Yeah.
Fanta's Coke. Yeah. The duopoly.
And me, I wish I was on Coke while watching this movie.
You should have been on the herb.
Yeah.
The herb. Just like a Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Yeah. So then later on, there's next... Wait, no. Okay, so she does the... paramedics have to rescue the guy from the car.
Yeah.
The car that's going off the bridge. I'm actually not super sure about, like, are the paramedics the ones that would be dealing with the car, or would that be like the fire? I don't know.
Wouldn't, or they wouldn't have the capacity to make sure the car is safe.
Yeah.
But they did it anyway.
Yeah. So because that felt to be like, no, don't do that. I don't think that is your job. That doesn't make sense. And that's why she ends up in the car. So like, yeah.
Because if they don't have the tools to make that safe, they might just endanger both of them, which is what kind of happened.
Yeah, so incompetence.
Yeah.
And then immediately the door closes exactly, and then she gets stuck in the car, goes into the water. Then she gets a vision, and then you see the entire movie play out, basically, and you know how everything's going to go because she gets the vision. Also, I'd like to point out that though I missed the first 5 minutes of the movie, the 5 minutes are shown again later in the movie. That they do a flashback into what the mum was up to because she like does a thing and goes into the past or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. I didn't even need to watch the intro of the movie because they just did it again, including the stupid ass spider people. Real.
Because in case you forgot, here's it again.
Well, yeah, it was helpful for me, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess this is where her powers activate or whatever. Even I don't really get why. Oh yeah, she dies. I guess that's what
activated
her powers. Then she gets pulled out, and yeah, and then she uses her powers for the first time by seeing the future of like
Conversation.
just conversation, I guess. Then you get like a barbecue scene, which is like inconsequential.
That's
I
what the
guess
Pepsi was.
that's what the Pepsi was, and I guess to show, and the beer was like a Bud. What do you call them?
Bud Light.
Bud Light or something like that.
Budweiser.
Budweiser, I think it was.
That's the red stripe one.
Yeah, it was a restaurant. Typical Fast and Furious barbecue. I guess to show that she's not good at talking to people.
Oh yeah, because pregnant
And the audience
women.
behind me was going crazy, bro. They were just like laughing at everything, and I was just like, ha ha ha.
But they're laughing at what?
The joke.
There are no jokes.
There are jokes here. It's funny movie.
This funny movie.
They really try to make jokes in this movie. They try.
They
They really
do-
try.
It's so
mostly-
funny, bro.
It's mostly like self-deprecating comments in conversation.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, it's like,
Relatable humor.
yeah.
Oh,
Anyway, and that's why you got the stupid scene of like, oh, can you predict the name? And she probably
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
but
yeah.
she just can't say Peter.
the name's Griffin.
Yeah.
P. Griffin.
Then afterwards, there's like an explosion at the Pepsi factory. Can I have some water?
Yeah, grab one from the fridge, mate. See, this is what happens when you think about Pepsi too much. You get thirsty and cough up your bloods. Nah, no more ice.
Did you turn the temperature down?
I did not.
Yeah, what was up?
It was just frozen for a amount of time.
Yeah, explosion at the Pepsi factory, which will come back later because Pepsi will save the day.
Pepsi Man coming in.
Also, yeah, why are there so many? Apparently, the Pepsi factory is rigged with explosives. Why?
All that carbon dioxide will blow up, man.
And
It's a
that does
Pepsi
not make
boycott.
sense. But sure. Well, let's take that. The Pepsi factory is filled with explosives for some reason.
Hyper-compressed gas.
And then she sees
Big fart.
the future
That is a fart.
of her like captain or whatever getting into a car crash.
Yeah, the
So she's
paramedic
like,
guy.
"Yo, don't do that!" And then he just immediately gets into the car crash right after.
That's
pretty
funny.
funny.
That was a funny moment. They should have laughed
That
at
did make
one.
me laugh. Yeah.
So I was like, haha, got him.
Then she's like, "Damn, maybe I got powers or something." And then you get another scene with a bird that flies into the window, and she's like, "Whoa, what if I open it?"
I was literally thinking about that.
Also, she likes to explain everything in dialogue. So, like, when, like, with the bird scene, right? The point of the bird scene, I assume, was to show that she can change the future because she opens the window, right? Then she has to explain it out loud,
I can change the future.
just in case you were too dumb to understand, I guess. All right. Then you get Ezekiel. Basically, his plan to find the three girls is to use the God's Eye from Fast and Furious 7
Oh yeah,
to
God's
locate
Eye.
these girls.
them gals.
And then, coincidentally, Madam Web bumps into them on the train. And then she's like, "Yo, you're in trouble. Let's go." One of the key conflicts of the film. Oh, also, let's talk about how Ezekiel, for some reason, doesn't wear shoes. There's no reason to it.
He's all natural, baby.
He just walks around. He's in the fucking New York subway. That's disgusting. There are rats and shit there.
Well, have you seen people here walk around with no shoes? I have.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, but they say it's all natural and it improves their blood flow or some shit, and it charges their chakra.
Have you asked them about this?
Well, actually, I do know people who have like foot conditions where they can't wear shoes, so they have to walk barefoot.
Yeah.
I doubt Ezekiel has the condition.
Is that not dangerous? Once you cut your foot?
You could.
Well,
Especially Melbourne City, broken glass everywhere.
It's healthier for them than wearing shoes.
Damn.
It depends on your feet shape. Is it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, put it on the edge so it's like sitting on the edge.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All
there you
right.
go.
That's edging.
That is edging. Yeah,
Just
people
understood.
people
But
walk with
he
no
wears
shoes.
his suit covers his feet,
Oh, yeah.
like
It's
his
like
Spider-Man suit.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But do they count Spider-Man suit thing as shoes?
Spandex?
Does he
Like
have
the
spider boots?
Well,
Spider
Peter
boots.
Parker himself would wear shoes, and he just takes them off.
Yeah, when he wears the suit.
But Ezekiel just walks around barefoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's the explanation to that.
He just likes
does.
it that way.
Yeah.
He's built different.
Anyway, yeah, he goes after the girls. One of the major conflicts of the movie is that Madam Web's on the run for kidnapping the girls.
Oh,
At
yeah.
any point, they could have just explained to the cops what was going on, but they choose just not to.
I have no parents.
It's dumb. It's so fucking dumb.
Because she knows the cops are corrupt.
Real.
She steals a taxi and uses that for the entire movie.
Doesn't return.
She literally takes the number plates off. If
Yeah.
any cop saw that fucking car without
would
number
pull them
plates,
over.
you pulled over instantly. Homie with God's eye, if he could just see a taxi without number plates, he'd probably be suspicious anyway.
True.
And he knows the taxi, so he could just track that taxi. Like this. She also-
Nice.
I'm kind of unclear on one point, right? When she leaves to go to Peru, she drives off in the taxi. Does she drive to Peru in the taxi? Because she comes back with the taxi, but at some point she gets on a
Technically
bus.
You can.
Ain't no way she got onto a fucking plane because she's a wanted criminal. This is just after 9/11. There ain't no way security at the fucking airport in America was that lax.
I did some research. We'll talk about it later.
Well, maybe the Peruvian
About
airport.
9/11.
About something to explain.
The Peruvian
Yeah,
airport
well,
Explain
of course
is
everything.
fine.
Shall we do it now?
Yeah, stick it in.
There was a rumor from a journalist, and this conflicts with what the director said in an interview. There was a rumor that the film was originally meant to be set in the 1990s, which is why the music is from the
Mhm.
1990s. So it was all looking like 1990s from production design or something.
Because it was meant to tie into Tobey Maguire's.
Andrew Garfield.
I heard Tobey Maguire was the
This
original
said
one.
Andrew Garfield.
Because
But obviously we
the
trust
90s would
Wikipedia.
place it within the time span of...
And then this said Andrew Garfield because that was when Andrew Garfield would have been born, that end scene. But then
Nah,
they
but that wouldn't
decided-
actually make sense because Andrew Garfield is a teenager in his movies,
I don't
right?
fucking know. This is what Wikipedia
Oh,
says. Do we trust
maybe.
what Wikipedia says? Anyways,
Yeah, actually, late 90s would probably be.
and then they moved it to
Post 9/11.
2003 because they wanted it to tie into Tom Holland rather than Andrew Garfield. And then the director flat out was just like, no, the script from the very beginning was 2003.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I guess, yeah, they're wearing...
Who do we choose to believe?
There is nothing about this that screams 2000s, right?
There was no Eminem.
It was just
in this
Beyonce.
Well, like late 90s and 2003, that's still in like a 5 to 6 year time span, so it wouldn't be much different.
Yeah.
Except for the post 9/11 bit.
Which is
Yeah, which is that's an
Yeah.
actual problem with the
Yeah.
fucking movie. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and the director was like, oh yeah, we used obviously we didn't use music from the 2003 because we want this film to remain timeless. And these music from the 90s were on the edge of the needle drop for that time. Well, they said something like that.
I mean, people still listen to
Yeah.
Toxic, right?
Yeah. But if you specifically only use music from the 90s, doesn't that plant it to be in the 90s?
Yeah.
So I think the director's trying to
He's coping. He's
doing some
coping.
corporate brush off the shoulder.
Yeah, it kind of
They're on
sucks
that
because I don't think this
copium,
movie is
bruh.
entirely like Ford or whatever. It's the studio, right? But like, yeah, exciting.
How long does principal photography normally take?
Prince
Oh, it could
Wilfred.
be anything. Lord of the Rings took like 6 years or some shit. I don't know. Usually it's a few months,
Few months. This took like 6 months.
including
And
reshoots.
Reshoots were done like a year later
Yeah.
because I said the reshoots were done to put it into like the new time frame.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. Yeah. One of the remember when Morbius came out and how in the trailer it had references to every Spider-Man just in case. So I guess they wanted to avoid that.
Apparently, they also did like 3 different versions of every shot or something.
Okay.
In
They
like
could
different
choose a shot.
locations or whatever.
Damn, maybe they're just perfectionists like David Fincher.
Wikipedia. Give it up.
I am Venom. They should have kept that in if that wasn't in. I feel like that was in.
I am Venom
Yeah.
in this movie.
No, in Venom.
In Venom.
Not in Venom. In Morbius.
I know there was a couple ones because he says like, I am Venom, JK, I'm Dr. Michael Morbius itself. There's another one where he says, I'm something else. There was definitely like 2 different versions of that scene. I can't remember which one was in the movie.
I think the line was like something, I'm bad, therefore I am Venom.
No, there's definitely I know there's definitely a version where he goes like,
Yeah.
I am Venom, JK. I'm like, he literally goes, just kidding.
Does he JK?
I don't think he says JK, I think he says just kidding or some shit. It's like I can't. Anyway, back to Madam Web. And how, she drives a stolen taxi for the time, which doesn't make sense because she's on the run and then she commits another crime. And then later on in the movie, she steals a paramedic van.
Yeah, ambulance.
And it's very funny because it's a point where these paramedics are literally rushing to an emergency and then she steals the fucking ambulance. So these people only died because of her. Also, she's a fucking paramedic, so she should know about this shit.
She doesn't like people, so they should die. Just like that, the first scene.
Her character makes no fucking sense in the movie.
You know how the kid gives her the card, be like, "Thank you," and she's like, "Fuck you, I don't want it."
What?
In the hospital after she saves that one guy.
Oh yeah, the card.
Kid gives the card, and she's like, card, and then basically says, "Fuck you, I don't want the card."
Yeah. And I'll also point out, nothing about her character changes in this movie. Nothing. Her like moment of like her arc of discovering herself, where she goes back to Peru, changes fuck all. She learns literally nothing. All she does is she has a little flashback. He goes, "Yeah, Mum, I forgive you." Firstly, what do you forgive her for? She did nothing wrong. She died at childbirth. You never knew her. Why are you mad at her? She died of that fucking childbirth.
She's sad because she got shot.
No, she's not sad. She's angry at her mum for fucking dying at childbirth. How fucking stupid is that? And you're a fucking paramedic. You said at the start of the fucking movie at the birthday party thing that dying at childbirth is a pretty common fucking thing.
Common?
Yeah, she says that to the pregnant lady, to Peter Parker's mum. That was literally a line in the movie. Why are you acting like a fucking moron?
Because I don't have.
And then that's meant to be her like moment of growth or whatever, where nothing changes. She goes back to the fucking. Okay, wait. Before I get ahead of myself, what happened at the diner? Because I missed that part. Is there anything important?
The kids just kind of ran off, and she's like, "Why
they
you
danced
ran
on the table or something, right?
Yeah.
Was that fun?
No.
No, it's kind of weird.
Okay. I heard that was the best part of the movie. I thought that was the best part of the movie.
Middle-aged men around.
Yeah, was that actually what happened? That's what I heard. But it was
See,
that
truck
weird.
stopped diner, so what they gotta do?
And then Ezekiel shows up, right?
And he goes, "I'm Venom."
And does he actually? Okay.
That's what I envisioned in my head.
Yeah. Then Madam Web does her Madam Web thing and then like hits him with the car, right? The taxi?
Yeah. I think they got out.
Oh yeah, that's how she fights him. Majority of the time, she hits him with different vehicles, with the car, with the ambulance.
Because they got no powers. All the guys run away and hit.
Yeah.
That is diner.
Dumbass shit. Anyway, let's fast forward, alright? She goes back to Peru because Ezekiel was in the jungle with her mom while she was researching spiders when she died. By the way, that line is on in the movie. Which I was so excited, but it was just like stitched together parts of the movie. Anyway, in the fucking jungle,
Simba.
she walks through the jungle, and the guy from the start of the movie is just standing there, saying, "I knew you'd come back." So I imagine for his entire life, he's just been standing in that spot.
He's been waiting. Because he can also see the future.
And yeah, so I guess the point was like, hey, your mom loved you and she wanted to use the spider to cure you of this muscle disease or whatever
Oh,
before you were a
yes.
baby, and that's why she went to the jungle. And then she's like, whoa, you really cared about me, Mom. You know, because prior to that, when you died at childbirth, I thought that was because you hated me.
Yeah.
And in the flashbacks, she was like, there was like a scene where I can't remember, but at some point she was pregnant and she's like, I don't know, what was it? They're like, oh, maybe you should rest. So she's like, nah, I'll do it anyway. And then, then Madam Web goes like, why did you hate me so much, Mom?
That's why I went to the jungle. Because I wanted to die.
The jungle.
It makes zero fucking sense. Absolutely no fucking sense. And then,
The jungle.
possibly the worst line in the movie.
mighty
No, actually, that's hard to beat.
The lion
But Spider-Man
sleeps
says to her,
tonight.
with great responsibility comes great power. I shit you not, that is the line of the movie. That made me actually like start dying of laughter because that was so fucking funny.
Clap.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh, did they say that?
Yes, it is a big part of it. They legitimately, that's the exact phrase they said. With great, it's not great power,
Dang.
great responsibility. They say the opposite.
They reversed it.
Oh my god.
Uncle
And they're like,
Ben.
one day, when you need, you can appear in multiple places at once or something, right?
Yeah.
But what is she like? Like, her character didn't change at all.
She learned
Like,
that
she forgave her mother or something. Firstly, that wasn't like in a conflict in the movie at all until that very scene, and it doesn't make sense because why would she be mad at her mother for dying?
'cause she wanted to die too.
Damn, why did she take me with you?
Well, there's, I guess, one thing that ties it a bit with the other characters is her learning to accept the kids.
But the kids aren't with her in Peru.
Yeah, but that was before.
Yeah, but she does it like she's still a dick until the point where she
Yes.
goes to Peru, right? For her self-discovery and find out. Because apparently, like the quote they use later is, you understood the past so you could interpret the future. They said something along those lines.
Yeah.
You understood that your mom didn't hate you, didn't die of hatred. I don't understand. Literally, I cannot wrap my head around that, like, that writing decision. I just don't get it. I don't, like, nah. I just don't get it at all. Then, so, Peter Parker's mom is going to give birth to Peter, right? So, Uncle Ben's like, okay, I'm going to drive to the hospital. Everybody get in for some reason. All of the kids that are being hunted, let's all get into the car so you can be
They're
tracked.
witnesses to the birth.
So they get into the car. So yeah, obviously Ezekiel spots them, so you get some big showdown on the road or whatever.
Little drive-by.
Madam Web comes back, parks the taxi, the stolen taxi, and steals an ambulance.
And kills,
Could she have just driven that taxi back?
I guess. But the taxi doesn't have the flashy lights.
Oh, she went to use the flashing lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, a couple of people probably died because of her.
Yeah, because of that.
Then she does her epic move of smashing the ambulance through a building and then landing and crashing into Ezekiel.
Family Guy.
And then they literally just like, yo, Uncle Ben, yeah, you go do your thing, man. Don't worry. We're going to go and do a separate thing.
Help your wife.
Yeah.
Your aunt.
Which begs the question, like, why are they there? Like,
So they can be out of the way, I guess.
like it's they didn't need to get into the car with Uncle Ben. They could have just stayed at home, and then no one would have. Anyway, okay. So the final fight, they go back to the Pepsi Cola that's rigged with explosives, as most Pepsi factories are, I guess.
Pause.
And how long have we got?
You
Holy shit, it's 2:30. All right, we'll do a quick for Molly after this.
Yeah. Too long of a rant.
Fuck me, this is actually like too long of a rant. So yeah, they basically how they end up fighting him by setting off all of the explosives,
Boom.
also killing a dude in a helicopter.
Random dude.
Yeah, because a dude comes out to help them in the helicopter, like, oh, head down to this building, and so they blow him up. And he used like the helicopter blades, I guess, to crash into the thing. And I guess they just defeat him by having him fall off the building because she can predict where things are going to land and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
She also briefly uses her powers of like Doctor Stranginess to like split herself into multiple to pull up the girl's help.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then she falls into the water and she gets hit in the head by like a fireball, which
Bow.
blinds her and breaks her back or whatever. Which doesn't make a lot of sense because she
fall in the water.
Yeah, she falls in the water. She falls in the water.
The water might have the force to break her back.
No, she's fallen in the water before. She fell in the movie at the start. Though it's meant to be like a callback thing. Don't justify that. She fell into the water before and she just died. But this time she fell into the water and somehow broke her back and got hit in the head. Like, I guess the hit in the head would blind her because fireballs might blind your eyes or whatever. I don't know.
Your brain shot, maybe.
But her back is damn.
Wasn't it
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I think it was a bit of debris that was on fire. Like, I don't think it was because I feel like that would go. Wouldn't a firework do probably more damage?
It did blind her.
It did blind her. That's true, and break her back somehow.
Oh, falling! If you have a belly flop, falling in the water.
No. She fell in the water at the start of the movie. Stop saying this. The water can't do shit. The water can't do shit.
See, the car
I'll break your back by
protected her.
dropping you.
You can drop me into the right.
I'll drop you like the jug of milk into the Yarra River.
Mythbusters.
Anyway, she gets rescued. They go to the hospital, and everyone's happy, and the girls are all friends and whatnot. And Madam Web's like in her regular kind of look of sitting in a chair, blindfold, whatnot. She uses her powers to annoy everyone by going like, "Bless you. Why did you say that? Achoo!" That's a direct moment in the movie. Like, oh, I got takeout. Oh, this is what you ordered. Reads the thing. I can see everything. Wow, this is crazy.
See, the blind
became an episode of
the
The
blindness
Boys.
made her
And then-
see.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah.
That's the
I
thing.
understood that. I did get that.
It's like
does her funny
Daredevil.
Dubbed over narration at the end, and then they're like, "Yo, what happens in the future?" And then she shows them in their superhero outfits. Madam Web gets an outfit for 2 seconds. Yeah, I like how it answers none of my questions of like, how did they become spider people?
They just do.
Why did they like? What is their deal? Like, who are these women? Like, what is their deal? They're given like
true. There's no explanation.
broad personality traits to fit like, yo, this one's a nerd, this one's a rebel, this one's just like shy. I don't know, fucking whatever.
Yeah, they don't explain that, do they? They just be like, random by chance. These are the ones.
Well, I don't. Maybe it's not by chance because all of their parents are on business trips. Maybe that's related.
Yeah, true. They all got beaten up by the funny spider.
Well, eventually they will somehow, I guess. Anyway, like none of the stuff that was remotely could have been interesting to do with them ever gets anything. I think I pretty much cover most. There's probably more to this movie, but like we don't have much time.
Hostages of a bad film.
Point being, yeah, really bad movie, right?
Victims of circumstance.
All right. Final verdicts.
Hey, yeah, baby. Madam Web. Madame. What's web in French?
Web.
A web.
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 A web.
I'm Venom. 2 out of 10.
I'm not Venom. 2.5.
1 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Like I'm tempted to give it a 0 because it's almost like technically incompetent, like borderline barely a fucking movie, I guess. Oh, this movie was so fucking bad.
Can we get a Venom 4, please, Sony?
Venom 3 is dropping this year.
We need a what?
I
we
want
need
a
Oh
Venom
yeah,
4.
so you know how like no MCU movies are coming out except Deadpool 3. We're
Yeah.
getting, we got Madam Web, we're getting Venom 3, and we're getting Craven this year.
Oh,
So we got 3 Sony movies this year. I bet you're happy about that.
I am.
Yeah. So that's a combined average of what, 2?
Sure.
Venom
Less. More.
3.
More than
What did you give it?
I gave it a 2.5. Maybe I'll
Yeah,
just
so
change
it's a
it.
So that's a
2.
2.
I'll give it a 1.5. Let's give it a fucking 1.5.
You wanna?
Okay, 1.5. Bad movie. All right, let's quickly go through this Bob Marley. Bob Marley, One Love. It's a biopic about Bob Marley.
Yes.
What was this Bob Marley?
I forgot the last
One
Which
Love.
album?
All right, we're jamming.
Do you like Bob Marley?
I did like it. I mean, it definitely made me want to
No, I
listen
meant
to more.
that. Do you like Bob Marley the music?
Oh,
Like,
Bob Marley as a person.
or like good
Oh, as a
music? It's just
musician. I do. I guess passingly like Bob Marley, but I
Yeah.
haven't really delved into his music that much. I know his popular hits,
Yeah,
and I enjoy them. But this movie did make me want to listen deeply
yeah,
into his discography more.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a plus.
I guess I came into this movie from the opposite end. Bob Marley
Yeah.
was a pretty big. I don't know if you actually know this, but
What?
Bob Marley was a huge part of my childhood. That was like one of the main artists, I guess, that was listened
You're
to
a
within my household.
Rastafarian,
I am a
man, you-
Rastafarian, yeah. So I am very familiar with a lot of Bob Marley's stuff, and I'm familiar with his messages and
Mhm,
shit.
okay.
So I was actually pretty looking forward to this movie. I like Kingsley Ben-Adir, the guy who plays him. And I think he does a good job in this movie as well. Some of the, I feel like accents, some of it was a bit
Yeah.
over the top, and
Jamaica.
I couldn't always understand what they were saying because
Yeah, see,
there was.
I was questioning that. Are they trying to be like fully, all right, we gotta speak Jamaican all the way? Or is it supposed to be more English in the Jamaicans?
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
they were going all the way with it. I don't know.
Yeah, because if they're going all the way Jamaican, they should have had subtitles.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's not fully Jamaican either.
Yeah.
So with the English words. So, having a middle ground, but maybe not too legible, understandable for some people maybe
Yeah.
who are not familiar with the Jamaican vocabulary.
Nomenclature, is that the term? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nomenclature.
The
Colloquialism.
yeah.
Yes, I guess. Firstly, yeah. Do you think I think performances were pretty good.
Performance were good.
Yeah. That's one agreed.
Yeah. So in terms of like with the writing, and the dialogue, I feel like I missed a lot of the movie because I just did not understand what they were saying sometimes.
Like that one record producer man or marketing guy,
The white man.
the white man.
Yeah, he was very could not understand the man whatsoever. Yeah. In terms of the story, I think I think it was decent. This is a biopic, obviously, it's a real story. It's more focusing on like one part of Bob Marley's life. It's not really how Bob Marley came to be famous. And I feel like there's a chunk kind of missing in that way because it's like it kind of starts with Bob Marley being this big cultural icon, and he's gonna do a big peace concert, right? It would have been nice to see a little bit of like, oh, how did he get to the point where he's like being a voice for all the people and whatnot, right?
But yeah,
you get flashbacks. I think the latest the flashbacks go is to when he and the Wailers get their first record deal, and I don't think it goes any further than that in terms of flashbacks. So I feel like I didn't. All we get is like, oh, he's a big artist, but like, it's like, how did he get to that place is a bit missed. I feel.
True, I agree with that. Like, yeah, I think the movie is mostly set like towards the end of his career.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
So yeah, I feel like there is a missing part of the how he became to be.
Yeah.
Also, like some in between events, probably from big event to another event, I feel like was skimmed over.
Yeah. So that brings to my main criticism of the movie of like, I guess the pacing's not very great.
Yeah.
They really look. I think this movie's fine. Oh yeah, I guess my first overall thing is I think this movie's fine. I think this is literally just when you think of biopic, this is probably what you think of. It hits a lot of the beats of a typical biopic, I think, and unfortunately doesn't really carry the emotion because it's not well executed. It's like, for example, because it's a biopic, they have to have like a big argument between the wife and husband or whatnot.
Moment.
But the way they do in this movie is it just happens with no build up to it.
Happens. Yeah.
Like there's you see the wife hang out with the kids at one point in the movie, I think. The kids are like not in the movie at all. Like they've got maybe like a bit of the screen time.
Yeah.
But then you get into like a big argument out of nowhere when the wife's like, "Oh, I've been with the kids this whole time, blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Have you? I didn't see it on screen. Maybe I don't know."
Well,
I guess the voice
explained it.
that's the problem. The voice of the wife is like lost in this movie, I think. There's not enough spent on her. And if you wanted to have that be a big point, because it seemed like a big part of the movie, right? That's like,
Yeah, if you want that to be a major conflict
it just
between the characters, yeah.
I felt like it completely they needed to have argument here,
Yeah.
and
But
but they
don't
had no
build up
substance to it.
argument.
Similarly, when he like fights the manager or like he fights
He
the dude or
beats him
something, I felt like that kind of came out of nowhere too.
Well,
They
that's just
spent a
right
little bit
after,
more
yeah.
with that, I think, but like not really enough.
Yeah, they barely touch on that.
Also,
They're
that
just like,
that point, that wasn't even like the point of that scene. I guess wasn't even about that. It was to do with
the fight
his
before.
cancer, right? That was like more of the.
Wasn't the diagnostic, not the diagnostic? Didn't he get that info after that?
Yeah. So I think the point of that scene was more leaning towards the cancer thing.
So he beats up the guy, and then he learns about
Yeah.
cancer.
So basically, he damaged his toe because he kicked him.
No, that was before he kicked. Oh, I guess his toe got bleed.
Yeah.
Bleeding out his toe, but it was already kind of hurt before, right?
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he kicks him, and that's
And it
when he
got
notices
worse.
his
Yeah.
toe was like bleeding, and then it's like, yeah, it's not healing because
Uh-huh.
cancer. Yeah.
True. And even the manager guy, we only got like a glimpse of a scene where he's being sneaky or something.
Yeah,
And
that's
he's
why I
like,
was like,
okay.
where he like passes over the thing, right?
Yeah, the money.
Which I was just like, yo, did he just exchange a wine glass for a brick of cocaine? I couldn't see.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah. Anyway,
And that's enough to justify, I guess, the beating.
yeah.
Yes.
Was that a spoil? I mean, this movie, I feel like there isn't enough to spoil.
Read a book.
The trailer also gives away like the shooting and stuff. So like,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah.
You know,
This
some-
movie also, I guess, if you want to say the plot it's kind of loosely called a plot. I don't think it's more like some events strung together.
yeah.
But I guess the thing is like, oh, he gets shot, and then he's like, boo, Jamaica, and then he leaves Jamaica to London. Then people are
Yeah.
like, yo, you need to come back, and he's like, nah, I don't do that anymore. And he goes back.
True.
It's like
Hey,
I don't know,
Jamaica.
like a coming out of retirement spy movie or some shit, but like
Kind
English
of,
shit.
yeah. Well, he did the concert
Which I
in
thought
the
was
first
cheesy.
place.
I didn't
Yeah.
like. I don't know.
Was
Some
to
of that
unite
dialogue was just a bit. Yeah.
Jamaica.
Yeah.
But then he got shot because they don't want no unification.
Yeah.
No one love.
There's also some cool imagery with the fire and the riding through the fire. The guy riding on the
yeah.
horse.
What was that plot about? About
It's to do with his father,
he's
right?
like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
my father because he's a white man. But then he turns black.
I'm going to be completely honest. I don't really think
I didn't
they
get that
executed
one.
that very well
Yeah.
either. Even though it feels like they really wanted, I feel like that was their passion for the movie.
Yeah.
They
He was
really
trying to
like
make
that
a
imagery. They wanted to
analogy or some shit.
do something with that. I don't think it goes that well. I don't know.
It's almost he's
Because
running
he's
away from the
biracial.
fire. Yeah,
So I think it's like
He's a
his
logic.
biracial struggles are meant to be a part of it, but I feel like
You would get that struggle.
I
You
would
would
get
just-
that, and I just felt like as a biracial man, I just didn't
Yeah.
it didn't come through that clear, and I think it's just because this movie's going between a bunch of different events and different themes that like don't flow together very well.
And
but
the
like-
longer I think about it, I think I know what they're going for. So he runs from the fire, from the white man.
Yeah.
Then the white man come, but it wasn't the white man, it's black man, and he gives the ring. So that means he's just accepting his black part and refusing the white man.
I think so, but like, in that extent, like, when was he really?
He was never white at all. So
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't really have much whites.
the only white part he
upbringing.
accepted was his
He-
cancer, bro.
Yeah,
Even though we don't know where it came from. But
well, that's probably where more of like the because of skin cancer. That's probably more of his white side.
I guess that's a white issue.
It's a white issue.
Skin cancer.
Yeah.
Damn.
All right. I don't think we need to do spoilers for this one, right?
Suppose not. Yeah,
He
it's a real
dies.
event.
It's a real
He
event.
dies.
Yeah, I think this movie's pretty good looking. I mean, obviously, I like the soundtrack because it's Bob Marley.
The music was
Like,
good.
it's-
Even
yeah.
the music scenes, I felt.
It's just I don't know. It's not the best in terms of like it. It really feels like they're just like, oh, make a biopic, it'll make money, whatever. Just
Brad Pitt
did it out.
produced this.
Brad Pitt produced it. Ziggy
And
Marley.
Ziggy Marley, which is like the one thing I'm thinking about. He's trying not to step too much on his father's toes. Wait, that's a terrible unintended
Oh,
joke.
no.
That was unintended.
Toe
He probably would
cancer.
have to produce it because he's like the relative or whatever.
Yeah.
He would have the image rights of Bob Marley.
He's also in the movie. No,
Bob
they think
Marley,
as a kid
though,
is-
really speaking, I'm sorry for that joke. That was not meant to be a
Rest
joke.
in peace. Yet, can we question the brand Marley that sells like consumer audio equipment?
I don't know.
Can we?
I'm questioning it. Like, were you taking advantage of your father's name?
Honestly speaking.
Wait, he produced the movie too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Bob Marley has such an interesting life. Like all the things he's done. Like if you just read about it a little bit.
I feel like this movie barely scratched the surface. To being
Barely.
honest,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's only like one part of his life. Is it the
Yeah.
end? Really?
We kind of needed
Written.
more from this to really get who Bob Marley was.
Yeah. And I don't think that came through that well. All right, can we go find a verdict?
You know what's funny about the Jamaican politics of the time? Both party leaders were white men.
Yeah, I was like, the clip at the end where it shows
He's
like
like,
him reacting. I
yeah.
was like, yo, he brought the two white boys together and made them
Yeah,
hold
white boys
hands.
for one. Yet the Jamaicans shot each other because of these two white men. Think about that.
Yeah.
Kill the white man. I give it like let's give it like a 5 out of 10.
5.5.
I think also about a 5, yeah.
There you go, folks. You like your Bob
I
Marley?
mean, I'll give it a 4.5 actually. We'll
Alright.
average it to a 5, yeah.
5 out of
5 out
10.
of 10.
Check it out if you like your Bob Marleys. Maybe it's not the best, but you get a bit of Bob in it.
Bob, isn't it?
Bob is in it. You get a bit of Jamaica. You
Yeah.
you can look at listen to the music.
Yeah. All right. I was going to quickly outro because I got to wrap.
Yeah.
Check us out on next week's movie. I believe is going to be the film Drive Away Doll. If you guys,
Bang,
Pedro
bang.
Pascal is in a movie. That's one. It's
Okay.
do you know the Coen Brothers? Fargo,
They're
Big
vaguely
Lebowski.
familiar. All right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's one of the Coen Brothers is doing it, I think, which is interesting. But yeah, so we'll watch that one next week. You can check us out for that episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Also, unholy.pod on Instagram if you want to check us there. And TikTok, same handle. If you want to contact us, 3unholythings@gmail.com is our email for any business inquiries or
Yes.
any correspondence at all. Also, check out our YouTube channel, Unholy Trinity, on YouTube. There will be a Last of Us review coming up soon, and perhaps a Silent Hill gameplay thing as well. Yeah,
Silent Hill live reaction.
yeah, live reaction. All right, bye guys.
See you next
Hola,
week. Bye.